Yeah. And all that doesn't help with the whole body dysmorphia thing.
Oh no. Because you're already like fighting your own demons, and now you have to fight all these other little demons behind keyboards.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because now I'll go back and I'll see some of my videos from when I was at my lightest weight, and I'm like, I was like small.
Mhm.
Like I was tiny. And I still remember feeling fat in that
Mhm.
moment.
Everything is not as it seems, as Selena Gomez once said.
Sponsored by Selena Gomez.
This is just a Selena Gomez episode.
What's up, spammers? Welcome to today's episode. We're your hosts, Crystal and Nayla. Today, we're going to be doing a part 2 to our fitness journey episode, which when we were filming that episode, honestly, we knew that there was more that we have yet to talk about. And also, a quick shout out to M. Griffith for commenting and suggesting that we do an episode on what to avoid when it comes to a fitness journey. So we're going to be answering that question today. Also, quick disclaimer before we get into it, just remember that everything we do say in this episode is from our own personal experience and just our own opinions. So just keep that in mind as we go through it. But how are you doing today, Nyla?
I'm doing pretty well, you know. Speaking of fitness journey, got up early, worked out, had a day. It's been a pretty good day.
Yes. What'd you do for your workout?
Yes. As always. It was Zumba. What else am I gonna do?
Zumba.
Mhm.
Yes.
How's your day been, Crystal?
It has been a good day. Honestly, we've been doing a lot. I did a lot of like grocery shopping, so I'm like setting myself up for the week that's coming up. You know, I have food here so that I can eat at home and try to avoid eating out, not only for like fitness reasons, but also to save money. So we did a lot of that today, but now it's time to just, chill, relax for the rest of the day. But first, recording this podcast episode.
Oh, I want to add to the disclaimer. Everyone's journey is different. And so different people experience different things, and it's not going to be the same for everyone. So, yeah.
And that's what makes our journey so special because they're unique to each of us. And so I think that's kind of like one of the first things that I would like to bring up for what to avoid. And that's try not to copy what everyone else is doing with their fitness journeys. I think that that's like something that happens because, I mean, like with TikTok, with YouTube, with Instagram, you see all these videos that people post about like, do this to lose weight, do that to lose weight, or do this specific move and you'll lose 10 pounds. And then you believe them, especially if you don't know a lot about, fitness journey. It's like your first time, maybe you're interested in it. It's very easy for you to fall for that. And then you're doing it and then you don't see any results. And then you want to give up because it doesn't work for you. But truth is that maybe that just didn't work for you. Maybe it did work for them, or maybe they're lying for views too. So I think it's very important to just try things. Like, I'm not saying don't try what you see. If you are interested in trying it, give it a shot. But, if it didn't work for you, then maybe it just wasn't for you. It just doesn't mean, that nothing's going to work for you. You have to try other things and feel things out.
There are so many different YouTubers, so many different like fitness Instagrammers that you have a variety of options. So instead of being like finding one person and being like, this is the one I'm going to follow, like you said, try out different things.
Yes.
I think that's a big part. I think that's something to do is to try different things in opposite of what not to do is following one exact person. Because, one person's diet could be catered toward them and help them, but then that might not help you.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think it's really important to like try things out.
Oh, yeah. Because I mean, there was like a wave on social media where people were going heavy on the protein. They were like, oh, eat this because this has a lot of protein, calorie counting, and all of that. And again, while that stuff does work, it works for a certain group of people. If you're thinking about protein, you're thinking of building muscle. But maybe what you should be doing isn't necessarily focusing on building muscle. Maybe you need to focus more on cardio so that you can lose some weight or, whatever your goal is. Those are two very like on two opposite ends of like the spectrum, like one is to build muscle and the other one is to lose weight. So it's like, what's your goal? just because you see everyone else over here trying to meet their protein goal, trying to like calorie count, that doesn't mean that you have to eat all of this protein and calorie count. And like it's different for everyone. And that's something like I had to learn because I also would do that. You know, I would see people make videos on how to lose weight and I'd be like, okay, I just have to like follow everything that they do and then I'll lose weight. But then it never worked until I finally started to just figure things out for myself and, you know, just like listen to my body, work with my body, try different things. And then eventually that's when I started to see my own results.
Yeah. And I go back to, I think about like Remy
Mhm.
Cruz, Miss Remy Ashton a lot, and like
Mhm.
love her content. I followed her for years. And at the beginning of her weight loss journey, she made like all these videos about like what I ate in a day and like things like that. And then a couple years later, she came out with a like I was lying to you this whole time video where she was like,
Yes.
this is actually not what I was eating. Like I was starving myself. I was doing this, I was doing that. And it was like that was proof within itself that like some of these
Mhm.
people could be lying to you, or it just like what they do may it's just not, you don't have to follow one specific person, you know?
Yes.
And it's just like trends are trends, right? So
Mhm.
like the protein thing is a trend for mostly for weightlifters. And
Mhm.
then going keto, that's another
Yes.
trend. And I don't know if you've tried keto, Crystal, but like
No.
I watch people go keto and I watch them go into the state of ketosis where they're like, you need carbs to survive. Like
Yeah.
I hate to be that person. You need carbs, you need sugar. I'm personally never giving those two things up.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's like going keto or going vegan. Vegan's
Mhm.
another one I noticed that like a lot of people are like, "Oh, like going vegan is so good for you and good for your health," but also that might not work for someone.
Yes.
Mhm.
Actually, can you hear my dogs in the background?
I can.
Okay. Sorry about that. Okay.
Saturday episodes.
What can we do? Okay. But no, to kind of go off of what you were saying with the whole like veganism and the keto thing, like
Mhm.
I remember when keto became a big thing and everyone was trying to get on it. They're like, "Oh, did you hear about the keto diet? Like you
Mhm.
should try it. Like I'm going to try it. I'm going to, you know, give up everything and only like I think it's only like focusing on meats, right? Like
It's,
basically just
protein, healthy fats,
mhm.
because like avocado is a big thing. I know fish is like a big thing. It's basically no carbs, no sugar, like none,
Got you.
basically.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I remember people would like it was such a strict diet, and I'm like, first of all, I don't think I can do that
Mm-mm.
because I like sugar too much. I like
Mhm.
carbs too much, and I just remember that people were talking about how good it was at first, but then like later on, they ended up coming out with how it's actually bad for you because your body needs the sugar, your body needs the carbs, and um, even then, like, people who would do it and they lost a lot of weight, they ended up gaining it back because, I mean, you
Mhm.
have to continue that lifestyle for, like, forever in order to you know, maintain
Maintain
the goal or whatever the weight that you
the
lost.
loss, yeah.
I cannot speak today.
Brain
But yeah.
fog.
Yeah, brain fog, major brain fog,
Mhm.
because Aunt Flo is in town, so just bear with me.
Mhm.
But yeah, I remember that. And also like with the whole like vegan thing, you know, like that's something that was very trendy. And I remember like I would see a bunch of like what I eat in a day videos and everyone was going vegan. Like literally everyone on YouTube was eating a vegan diet. And like,
Mhm.
you know, power to you if you want to live a vegan lifestyle. Like that's awesome. I will applaud you for that because I don't think I could
Mhm.
personally, but that's okay, like, that's their lifestyle, they chose to do it, but I don't think that you should go into that lifestyle if you don't know, like, what to expect, and also not go into it just because everyone else is doing it, because you
Mhm.
might be depriving your body of nutrients that you maybe aren't even aware that you need, but because you are depriving yourself of them, like, later on, it's gonna affect you, and
Mhm.
I've heard of people who have, like, gone vegan, but then went back to, like, a regular diet because they just couldn't do it, like, their body was, like, literally getting weak.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
same here. I've known people who have gone like who've done all the fads, all the diets and have had to revert back. And then like you said, that leads to weight gain.
yes.
And then that itself is a whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure, like, going on these diets might actually give you some results, but you
Mhm.
have to remember, and we did mention this in our first episode, is that you have to keep up with it. So realistically, like, is this something you're gonna wanna do for the rest of your life? If yes, then, you know, power to you and do
Mhm.
it, but If not, you don't have to do it just because everyone else is doing it.
Hmm. It's like, it's again very catered to yourself. Like, I know people who went vegetarian because they don't like the texture of meat or they don't like eating meat, and like they weren't doing it because it was a trend or a fad, you know?
Mhm.
And like, I personally am lactose intolerant, so I
Yeah.
can't drink milk. I try to avoid eating cheese. I do a good job at it? No, absolutely not. I eat a lot of cheese, but I mean, I don't drink milk,
Yes.
right? And like, that's just by choice because
Yeah.
my body physically can't take that, but I still eat meat. Like, I still do all the other things. I'm not vegan, I'm not vegetarian. Like,
Yeah.
it's literally just milk. And so like finding those replacements for yourself and your diet, and everyone's diet's so different,
Mhm.
and you got to cater to yourself. So even if you find like a good vegan recipe and you don't want to do it vegan, you can replace something in there to add your protein.
Mhm.
There's always replacements is like the biggest thing I think when it comes to dieting that a lot of people
Mhm.
forget about, is that you don't have to follow the diet so strictly if you're gonna diet. You can
Mhm.
always cater it to yourself.
Yeah. And like you can, going off of the whole like replacement thing, you can literally just continue eating how you have been, but maybe just swap out a couple of things here and there for like healthier options. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, I am Mexican, and one thing that's very big in our culture is tortillas. And obviously, tortillas aren't the best for you, but I mean, they are they're known for making you gain weight if you eat a lot of them. And so something that I started doing was I would swap out regular tortillas for whole wheat tortillas. And
Mhm.
that's something that I enjoy. I like them, but the rest of my family doesn't like them. Like I literally like I'm the only person that grabs from that bag. Like
Mhm.
everyone else chooses to eat regular tortillas, and like that's fine because that's what they want.
Mhm.
But I'm like, helping myself by giving myself that little replacement. So sometimes we're eating dinner, my mom has the comal on and she's flipping the tortillas, and then here I come with my little whole wheat tortillas ready to
Mhm.
like flip those. And yeah, it's just like little things here and there that you can do. Or, maybe if you're used to like, drinking the milk, but the whole milk is bad for you, you can buy yourself almond milk, or you can try
Mhm.
soy milk or coconut milk, whatever you like. But there's options out there that you can, just try different things and see what you like most. You don't have to just drink almond milk because everyone else is drinking almond milk, or you don't just have to drink oat milk because everyone is drinking oat milk. I mean, like we were talking about the whole thing with oat milk too, right? Once we
Mhm.
were talking about how I like oat milk, but like oat milk kind of upsets my stomach, and that's something I
Mhm.
realized later on after like drinking it for a bit, and I had to switch from it. But the reason why I tried oat milk was because everyone else was trying oat milk.
I still think oat milk is the superior milk.
Yeah, no, it actually is really good. It's like
Mhm.
I think it's just, remember I was telling you I think I have maybe like a gluten intolerance or
Right,
something,
yeah.
and
It's
that's why
it's the
it
texture
upsets
though.
me.
It's the closest to real milk. But I
Mm.
also recently I switched from oat to almond like literally a couple days ago.
Oh, really?
And
Why? Just
my
cause or?
reasoning, no, it's calorie wise.
Mm.
So I noticed I eat a bigger breakfast, and because I eat a bigger breakfast that sustains me throughout the day, like that's how I know my
Mhm.
body works best. And so after I eat like a big breakfast, I can eat smaller meals throughout the day. It's like just it's how I know how
Mhm.
I function. And so I noticed, because I'm eating a big breakfast and on top of that I have a coffee every morning, and in my coffee I have oat milk every morning, I start to feel a
Mhm.
little bit more lethargic throughout the day. And so
Ah,
I'm
okay.
switching to almond milk because I know that almond milk won't make me feel that way.
Ah,
Yeah.
see, that's interesting. But you tried it out, like
Mhm. And I
you
will still
listened
be
to yourself.
drinking oat milk just on
Yes.
the weekends, you know?
Yes. Trader Joe's brown milk, brown
Brown
sugar
sugar.
oat milk.
Mhm. Oat milk creamer.
Yes. Yes. But yeah, basically just, listen to yourself, listen to your body, try different things, and if it doesn't work for you, move on to the next thing. You don't have
Mhm.
to just stick to it because everyone else is doing it. Um,
The best way
um
to describe it is like, you know how your phone has settings and you
mhm.
adjust your settings to your needs? The
Yes.
brightness is on your needs, your volume's on your needs, dark mode, light
Mhm.
mode, like everything is catered to what you want.
Mhm.
Same thing with your body.
I'm a dark mode, like, ride or die.
Thank you. So am
Yes.
I.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I know people who are light mode. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, why would you be on light mode? But
But that's for them,
to each their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But light
I
mode
mean,
is
me
more
and
popular than I thought it would be.
oh yeah, but no, right? Because I thought as soon as dark mode was an option, like no one was gonna have light mode.
No,
But
genuinely. I was very confused when I saw all my friends with still light mode, and I was like, "You guys don't you don't use dark? How are
yeah,
we still friends?"
yeah. No, that's funny. But also like we were talking about our books and
Hmm.
hardcover books and
Oh
how you
yeah.
take off the sleeve and I leave the sleeve on.
Hmm.
And you're like, that's weird. I'm like, no, that's not weird because that's what I do.
It's weird for me.
Yeah. But it's
Yeah.
because, like, for me, it's, like I like the texture of the sleeve better than the texture of the book. So I leave the sleeve on.
Yeah.
That's my preference. But Nyla likes to take her sleeve off, and that's her
Yes.
preference.
Because okay, listen, I'm gonna show. So if you're listening, come to YouTube real quick. But like
Mhm.
when you do you see this? Do you see this?
Yeah,
This
but that doesn't happen a lot when you have it open.
yes, it does. When you like here, let me just open it to like the middle. Do you see that?
You hold your book wrong.
I hold my book wrong.
Yes, ma'am. Look, do you
It
see my
slides,
sleeve sliding? Do you see my sleeve sliding?
but mine's sliding. I'm making it
Exactly.
slide, sure, but like
But no, but I mean, it is a bad thing because look at my habits lettering rubbed off, which
mine
is
hasn't.
sad. But yeah, I still like this. Also, very Joe Goldberg of me, but I mean, what if my hands are greasy and then like the book gets stained? That's no bueno.
That is no, that it is very true. I when I thought about it after, I was like, okay, Crystal keeps it on. That makes sense because the book underneath is literally white. And so it could get
Yeah.
dirty. And then I realized again, because my life is different, I only read in bed. And I'm only in my bed if I'm like super I'm one of those I don't go in my bed with outside
Um,
clothes on. And so yeah,
oh, okay.
so like my hands are clean when I'm in
Mm-hmm.
my bed and when I'm reading. So I don't have
Mm-hmm.
that issue. Like I don't think about, oh, what if the book gets dirty? Because I know it won't. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, see, I like to carry my book with me to different places. I
Hmm.
take it around. Sometimes I go to like my favorite coffee shop and they have like this really delicious toast and it has sugar. And then my hands get sticky and I'm reading my book and I'm like, oh, no, no, no. Like, I do not want that to get in my
Hmm.
book. So the sleeve is nice because it doesn't actually stick onto it. Not us getting off topic and talking about books.
Yeah. No, the Atomic Habits episode should be coming out in a couple weeks. So
Yes.
keep a lookout for that one.
Yes. That'll be a fun one.
Hmm. But yeah,
Okay.
going back.
Okay, going back to the actual topic of today's
Hmm.
episode. Another thing we wanted to talk about, another thing I guess to avoid is not feeling discouraged because you don't see changes immediately. I think that's something that I guess kind of hit me hard
Hmm.
because when I first started my weight loss journey, I kept thinking that I was gonna see results right away because I gave up all the stuff that I wanted. Like giving up all this stuff is gonna make me magically lose weight overnight.
Hmm.
But then it didn't. And then I would like give up because I'm like, oh well, it's not working. And so then it was like this endless cycle where I would like stop and try again because I'm like, okay, well, it's clearly not working.
Hmm.
But once I was finally able to see results, that's when I started realizing that it takes time. And sometimes it takes a lot of time. It's like slow progress,
Hmm.
but that's something I had to learn.
Yeah. I think it's very common to feel discouraged because same
Mhm.
boat. I went on the journey so many times and gave up everything and felt discouraged over and over again. We talk about this again in our first episode, which will be linked below and also is on our YouTube page. So check that out. But I know that what not to do is to give up, right?
Mhm.
Because my change did not happen for a while. And by a while, I mean like over 6 months. Like my body did not, there were almost no changes visibly. And then
Mhm.
all of a sudden, it all dropped.
Mhm.
And it felt very sudden. But
Mm.
had I felt discouraged and had I given up, I would have never seen that sudden change.
Mhm.
And that sudden change is something that like kept me going.
Yes.
Hmm.
Mine was actually kind of the opposite. So
Mm.
mine was I was dropping pounds,
Hmm.
but I wasn't physically seeing a difference.
Hmm.
And so I think that's what made me feel discouraged. And so after a while, it was not until, like, people started noticing it, and they were like, "Oh, Crystal, are you, like, losing weight? Because like, I could see it, and you look good." And I was like, "But I don't see it, like, I don't see what they're seeing, like, I feel like I still look the same, I still feel the same."
Mhm.
And so I felt discouraged, but it wasn't until I finally started to see my own change
Mhm.
that that's when I was like, "Okay, this is working, I'm gonna keep going." But, you know, despite not seeing that change right away, like, I kept going,
Mhm.
and then eventually I saw those results. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's really hard. It's like this whole, like, mind game thing, and this is like, do we even get into body dysmorphia? Because
I
body
think
dysmorphia
I
is,
think it's
like,
time.
huge.
I think it's time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Okay, body dysmorphia is it is, something that's very heavy to talk about, but it's crazy, like, how much our minds can, like, play with us.
It's also something that no one really talks about.
Oh, yeah, no one ever really talks about it, and so it makes you feel alone too, and it just adds to the whole feeling.
Mhm.
But I was at my lightest weight, I guess. I was at my most fit,
Mhm.
but I still felt like I was at my heaviest. I still felt like I needed to lose more. And it's crazy because now I'll go back and I'll see some of my videos from when I was at my lightest weight, and I'm like, I was, like, small.
Mhm.
Like, I was tiny, and I still remember feeling fat in that
Mhm.
moment. And it's just crazy to think about because now I look back and I'm like, "Oh, look at what I was." But then I was like, "Oh, I need to do more." And so
Mhm.
it's just crazy, like, to think about how our brains will, like, literally mess with us.
It's all in your head. Like, when they say it's all in your head, it's truly all in your head.
Mhm.
Because genuinely, I'm still, like, feeling the dysmorphia.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I, like, currently, because 'cause I'm currently at what I would say is my fittest, and I don't know, I put on my clothes and I'm like, "What, this is weird."
Mhm.
Everything just feels weird. Like,
Yeah.
shopping is the worst thing in the world right now. I don't
Mhm.
wanna go shopping. I don't wanna buy
Yeah.
clothes. I'm still wearing all my clothes from, like, years ago, even though I could buy new clothes that are in a smaller size. No, I'd rather just wear all my oversized clothing and stay in my oversized clothing. And it's just I don't know. The only way I can describe it is weird.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean because, like, when you're maybe not the skinniest person in the room, you think, "Oh, if I was skinnier, I would look better in everything."
Mhm.
But
Oh,
then
yeah.
you actually lose the weight and you feel good, you walk into the dressing room, you try on some clothes, and it's they still don't look good.
Mhm.
And so I think that messes with you too, because 'cause you're like, "Well, I thought it was gonna look good because I was gonna, I'm skinnier now. I
Mhm.
look quote unquote better." But yeah, it doesn't look better on you. And so
Yeah.
it just, I don't know, like, it messes with your confidence. And I feel like when you first get on a weight loss journey, you don't really think about that you also have to, like, work on your confidence during that entire time. Because if you don't, you're gonna get to, like, let's say your goal weight, right? And then all of a sudden you think you're gonna be like this, like, overly confident person, but then you're not because you
Mhm.
never, like, worked on the confidence while you were losing weight. Because I mean, it's this whole, like, new lifestyle basically. Like,
Mhm.
you went from being overweight, maybe, like, feeling uncomfortable and everything, and you thought that you were gonna be feeling, more confident when you're skinnier, but it's not like that. And
Mhm.
so it's just it hits you hard when you're in that, state of mind. And even going, like, from being at your, like, lightest weight and then, like, gaining weight back,
Mhm.
it's just, like, this whole other new, like, mind struggle because now you're, like, thinking, "Oh, I used to be skinnier, but now I gained weight again." But yet I feel better now than I did then, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
it's
that
weird.
part. That part. Okay. First of all, I just wanna say weight gain is so normal.
Mhm.
Cause
It
like,
really is.
over the holidays, I gained weight. I gained
Yeah,
weight
it
over the holidays,
happens.
and I did not put myself down for it at all, which is something that I
Mhm.
appreciate so much, like, that I was able to change my mindset in that way and not put myself down for gaining the weight because it's normal.
Mhm.
Like, eating habits change, like, you're going out more, you're seeing more family, like, I we said all this in the first episode too, but, like,
Mhm.
that weight gain coming back, it's so normal.
Yeah.
And, like, it's something that I think a lot of people kind of forget about, and they're like, because you wanna hit your goal weight, and that's a lot of people's thing. Like, I don't have a goal
Mhm.
weight, luckily, so gaining weight
Mhm.
and losing weight for me right now, it's like, that's just life.
It's alright. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing, is just being
Mhm.
like, "Oh, this is just life."
Yeah. I think that that's what you just have to remember because, I mean, yeah, we could stick to our goal, but again, like, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but,
Yeah.
like, if you have a goal and you get to that goal, you're gonna have to keep up with that same lifestyle that you've
Mhm,
been living to get to your goal for the rest of
mhm.
your life, because otherwise you will, like, you will fall back to old
Yeah.
habits if you don't keep it up. And so, like, it does happen, but again, like, I think I don't know, like, when people make you feel bad for gaining weight over the holidays as if everyone is not eating really good on the holidays. Come on. I
Mhm.
mean, we have we have Thanksgiving dinners, we have Christmas, we have New Year's, like everyone is getting together, everyone's just having a good time and enjoying their food. And this actually like reminds me of Selena Gomez because I don't know if you saw, but she also gained some holiday weight and a lot of people were bringing her down because of it. And she
Oh, yeah,
even had to like publicly go and be like, "Guys, it was the holidays. I was enjoying myself." And I was like, yes, girl, like enjoy yourself. But yet here there are other people with really messed up minds, like making her feel bad for doing what everyone else is doing. Like,
Mhm,
why do we hold people, especially women, to such standards? Like, can we not enjoy food like everyone else? I mean,
mhm.
just let people live their lives.
Yeah,
And
and all that doesn't help with the whole body dysmorphia thing.
oh no, because you're already like fighting your own demons, and now you have to fight all these other little demons behind keyboards.
Yeah, behind keyboards,
I'm
behind real
mad.
people that like, everyone says stuff, you
Mhm.
know? I think about Who Says. That song, like,
Oh,
actually
who says you're not perfect? Ooh, let's get into it.
that song honestly shaped me,
Mhm,
like, from my childhood.
mhm.
Whenever I sing that song, like, I sing my heart out, which is why I
Yes.
didn't start right now because I would literally start singing my heart out.
And you wouldn't stop, you would sing
I
the whole the whole time.
and it's just like, I don't know. Selena Gomez is one person who we've talked about her in episodes in the past. Like, I've always looked up to her, and especially recently
Mhm,
because she did gain weight and people are saying things about it, but she really doesn't let it. I mean, I know it does bother her. It probably like bothers her a lot, but in the
mhm.
media, she's still posting her bikini pics. Like, she's still out there doing her thing despite what everyone's
Yes.
saying.
Yes.
And I think
Power
that,
to her.
like, yeah, and that helps because even though, like, even if she was a role model for me growing up, like, I'm
Mhm.
23 and she's still role model because she's still out
Oh,
there
yeah.
doing her thing.
Yes. And
Mhm.
also, can we talk about how, like, I think people hold her to the same standard as when she was
A
or as she
teenager.
was when she was younger. Yeah,
Mhm.
when she was a teenager, but you have to remember that, like, our bodies change, and that's also something that I'm, like, currently dealing with is, like, realizing that my body is also changing. So, you know, maybe I don't look my fittest, but I feel my fittest,
Mhm.
and that just it's because my body is it's no longer gonna be as, like, small as it was when I was younger, you know?
Mhm.
There's just no way possible. Like, even if I was to, like, get on a super strict diet, there's no way that my body is going to go back to that because my body structure is just different now, and it
Mhm.
happens with, like, your aging body, and I think that's another thing that people don't really talk about is, like, your body's gonna change over time,
Mhm.
and, that also adds to whole body dysmorphia because, I was going through a period where I was working out, working out, working out, and I wasn't seeing a difference. But then I had to realize that it was because my body's different now. Like it's not going to get back to how it was when I was at my lightest weight. Like
Mhm.
even if I try my hardest, and it's just having to like reaccept and relearn, you know, to love yourself. And it's just this never ending process of like, learning to love yourself because your body's always going to be changing at
Mhm.
every stage of life. And it's hard, especially for women because they hold us to, like, really high standards.
Mhm. Even in our, like, clothes sizing,
Oh, yeah.
which is a
That
whole
one.
other thing. Mhm. For me, like I said, I hate shopping, and
Mhm.
the worst part about it is the fact that there are numbers on these sizes, right? Okay. What if neither of those fit, right? You have the option of a 10 and a 12. What if I want the 11, but there's no 11 that exists? Like, what if I'm just,
Yes, like the
I
right
feel like,
in
yeah,
between.
I feel like, I don't know. That's the thing I think I've dealt with my whole life is I've always felt like I'm in between sizes. Like, I don't feel like medium's too small, but then large is too big, you know?
Mhm.
Like, I feel like there's sizes are just weird. And I
Oh,
hate,
yeah.
like, that definition of sizing, and I mean, recently, like, some stuff surfaced where people were like, "Oh, like, no one else can see your size except you, like, the size on your clothes except you, so wear whatever fits." And I'm like, "Yeah, but what if
Mhm.
nothing fits?"
Yeah.
Like, straight up, what if you can't
Yeah.
find stuff that fits?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that, like, all of these people, like, the companies that make clothes, they cater to a specific body type, so, like, the medium is a very specific medium.
Mhm,
And so you could fit in the medium, but maybe other parts of your body might not fit into the medium, like your stomach does, right? Like if you have a bigger chest, maybe the medium is not going to fit because the shirt's going to be tight on your chest
mhm,
area, but it's going
mhm,
to fit your stomach area. But then you go to a large, and then the large is going to look like you're in a parachute because it fits around your chest area, but there's a lot of space in your stomach area. And like that's something I've also dealt a lot with. And so I just comfortably sit in an XL because I just like, if I'm going to be wearing an oversized shirt, I'm going to wear a comfortable oversized shirt, and
mhm.
extra large is it for me. And it sometimes it is embarrassing to be like, "Oh, I'm an extra large," because, like, I don't know, like, it feels like you're the only person that wears an extra large in
Yeah,
comparison to all the other people in the room?
mhm.
And so, like, it does mess with you, but, I mean, I'm comfortable in my extra large shirts, so that's all that matters.
As I'm with you, Crystal, even at my fittest, I still only wear large and extra large clothing, so
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
no, it's like clothing sizes are just they're weird and they just don't make sense, and, like, don't even get me started on pants because pants are, like, ugh, I don't know, like, the pants sizing. I
Mhm,
mean, they're not consistent anywhere. They're not consistent in the same place, the same store. You can go to the same store, you could try on 2 of the same size 12 pants. One is gonna fit tighter than the other one. I'm just like, "Make it make sense, please." Like,
mhm.
this is why I continue to wear my mom
Sweats.
jeans and my sweats.
Yeah. Yep.
Comfortable.
I I live in sweats.
Yeah.
I live in sweats. I am not I was talking to Crystal about this the other day. Like
Mhm.
pants are gonna be the death of me.
Oh, yeah.
Pants are actually gonna be the death of me because one second I fit into one size and then the next second I don't fit into that same size.
Mhm.
And so I don't understand.
Yeah. And it also, like, really, like, messes with you when you see, like, these accounts on, social media doing, like, jean hauls, and they always look good in every single pair of jeans that they try on, and I'm like, "I have, like, 1 pair of jeans that I like how I look in them and that fit me good. Every other pair of jeans, like, I feel they're too tight around my waist area." And that's the other thing too, like, how I was talking about with shirts fitting you in one area and not the other, it's the same way with pants, like, I actually no, not pants, shorts. I beef
Mm,
with shorts. I cannot
mhm,
wear shorts because
mhm,
shorts will either fit me in my waist area, but be super tight on my legs, or they won't fit my legs, there's, like, these giant holes in between my legs, and then it doesn't fit my like, it doesn't even go over my thighs, and that's why I don't wear shorts.
I also don't wear shorts.
Yeah, like, they're such a struggle, and I don't get it. They're literally just jeans, but cut.
Mhm. They're literally I've had beef with shorts my entire life.
Mhm.
I have had beef with shorts, I've had beef with dresses, I've had beef
Dresses.
yeah, with skirts. Like, I live in
Yeah.
pants. I live in
Yeah.
pants.
Yeah. I always wish that I could wear skirts and dresses because they look so cute on certain girls, and then, like, on me, just no, they don't.
Yeah, and, like you said, I think it goes back to, chest, boobs.
Yeah.
Like, I can never find a dress that fits properly my
Huh.
entire
Mhm.
I also don't want my butt to be out half the time, which I feel like most
Yeah.
short dresses are just too short, and then long dress I'm short. Yeah, Crystal, you
So
can
they
feel
look
this.
yeah.
So, yeah, like, long dresses are too long.
Yeah. I've never looked good in any dress because, I mean, going back to the whole, like, bigger chest thing, it's like a dress will, like, fit here, And
Mhm.
first of all, it's like too tight here, but then it's literally like straight down like this because it it doesn't my like the size that I have to go for, it doesn't fit around my body. And
Mhm.
so it just looks like it's like a nightgown.
A rectangle, yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so it just doesn't look good on me.
Mhm.
And then with skirts, because I'm not tall, I feel like I think I have like my torso size to my leg length, I
Mhm.
think they're pretty similar.
Mhm.
So where the skirt sits, it ends up looking too long on me. Unless I go for like a really short skirt, but then I have a big butt. So the skirt, like it's too short. And so
Mhm.
yeah, I never win. I never
Yeah,
win.
nope. Like, going back to shorts,
Mhm.
the oh, anytime I find a pair of shorts that remotely can fit, it's like the chafing with my thighs
Yes.
is
Oh
like a
yeah.
whole other thing.
Oh yeah.
And then they're never high-waisted enough. I feel like shorts can
Mhm.
like I jeans are fine. I can find jeans that are high-waisted and like I like the fit
Mhm.
occasionally. But when it comes to shorts, I can never find like the perfect high-waistedness that I want.
Yeah. Yeah, shorts are like
I wear Bermudas. I wear the long shorts. You know, people
mm.
can make fun of me for that, but I do wear the shorts that go almost above, like right above my knee because I hate chafing. Well, I'm not gonna. I live in
Right.
California. Like, I'm gonna die if I don't wear shorts.
Oh, no. No, like, I
If
live
you
in
live in Arizona,
Arizona,
yeah.
and, like, people will wear the shorts, and I remember, like, there was maybe, like, 1 or 2 times where I maybe did find a pair of shorts that I liked, and I wore them to school, and I hated, like, because your thighs stick to the chair, and then they go, and then you're walking around with the with the chair
The chair
spots on your
imprint.
leg, yeah. And I'm like, "This isn't comfortable, like, why are you guys wearing these?"
Hmm.
But I guess to each their own.
Hmm.
But yeah, again, that just kind of goes back to the whole thing where like there's something for everyone out there and it's not for everyone. So
Hmm.
yeah. But yeah, no, I mean clothing sizes is just a whole nother level of body dysmorphia.
I was gonna say, what if this whole thing is just us feeling body dysmorphia in our own bodies, and that's why we
Oh,
feel
and
like
no,
nothing looks
yeah.
good? See, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's
That's
literally
what
what
it
it is.
is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. 100%. Cuz like I feel like I mean, I can only speak as a woman, like I don't know
Hmm.
what it's like for men, to be
No
honest,
idea.
but I know that like from a woman's point of view, like society holds us to this specific standard. Like you're only beautiful if you look this certain way. And so for everyone else that doesn't look that certain way, like it really messes with you and you go your whole life just feeling very insecure. And like I remember literally like I've had body dysmorphia since I was little,
Hmm.
but I didn't know what it was then, you know?
Hmm.
I just always thought like I was insecure. I wasn't like all the other girls. And, now that I'm older and I'm understanding it, like it just makes more sense.
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, this is just something that's like a part of a woman's mind. And also, don't even get me started on body dysmorphia when you're on your period.
Hmm.
That's a whole nother level of body dysmorphia.
And it doesn't help that like you're already bloating and you're already
Oh,
like
yeah.
all those additional things, like the hormones are reacting, like the pimples are coming out, like there are just so many things that are like happening, and then your brain is like dysfunctioning and it's just this constant state of agony.
No, man. It's like, it messes me. Like literally whenever I'm on my period, I feel so ugly because like I mean my skin just like my skin texture changes. First of all,
Hmm.
it's like dry but oily at the same time. My hair is uber duper frizzy. Like it
Hmm.
just I cannot with it. Like I cannot tame it. Like literally the texture of it changes and it's just and then the bloating, like I nothing fits. So yeah, it's a hard time,
Hmm.
really, because I already have the body dysmorphia, but then my period comes and it just adds to the body dysmorphia,
It really
and so
doesn't help.
it's insane.
I want to go back to
No.
what you were saying about social media and how like girls do these like jean try on hauls and all these jeans fit them well, right?
Mhm.
I recently have noticed like this rise in mid-size and plus size like women on social media, like showing outfit ideas and things like that. But even
Mhm.
like when I see those videos, it doesn't help my body dysmorphia because I look at them and they're like, oh, like I'm a size 10 and I'm a size 12. And I look at them and I'm like, my body's nothing like yours. Like
Oh, yeah.
I've seen
Mhm.
there's this one girl who I saw on Instagram and she was like a size 10, and I'm no joke, like her body's beautiful, everyone's body's beautiful, but like she had like a flat stomach and she was like she didn't have she didn't have a big chest, and like, but she was still a size 10. And I'm looking at her body like, this doesn't add up for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not adding up in
Mm-hmm.
my head, because that should be helping me find like outfit ideas and things like that. But it's not, even though the size is the same, which is why the number's so stupid.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Because that same thing has happened to me where I'll see a plus size try on haul. Or actually, maybe it's not a try on haul. It's like a tips and tricks for
Mm-hmm.
how to like make skirts look better. And they're putting on these skirts, but the thing is like they have a flat stomach
Mm-hmm.
and I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I try to follow their tricks, like my stomach still shows, or like I don't know, like it's so different. And that's just crazy how like you can be the same size but not look the same.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I remember like when I was at my heaviest weight, I forget how much I weighed, but I was like in my 200s.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember literally being in shock because there was this one YouTuber family that I used to watch, and the dad was like, "Oh, I weigh this much." And I was like, "I weigh as much. I weigh more than the dad weighed."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "That's insane. Like that's a full grown man." But he also didn't look like super fit. And that
Mm-hmm.
was insane to me how like I could weigh the same as he did. Where like I know I didn't look small or like super skinny, but like still like that was a huge shock to me that like I weighed as much as a full grown man. Like it's just weird. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But also
Numbers are
like I
so
mean,
weird.
they really are.
Mm-hmm.
And they mess with you. But they're such a big part of like everyday life. Like you
Mm-hmm.
need to know your pant size to go and buy pants. You need to
I
know how
know.
much you weigh when you go to the doctor. So it's like you can't avoid any of this
I
stuff.
like, I just wish, you know what would be beneficial to everyone? If
Hmm.
everyone was required to take like a sewing class in school.
Oh yeah, they used to have that at my school, but then they took it out because they didn't think it was necessary.
I wish I knew how to sew. Like, the thing is,
Right.
my parents and my like grandparents and a lot of my family members all know how to sew. And I'm
Hmm.
like, why did I need to learn? Because I feel like, you buy a pair of jeans and it fits you like on your butt, it fits you in your thighs, doesn't fit you in your waist. If you know how to sew, tighten it up.
Hmm. Oh,
Fits.
but you know why they took them out? Because if
Why?
we knew how to sew, they wouldn't be able to profit off of our insecurities. They
That
wouldn't
is
be able to
true.
profit off of our like needing to buy all these different things
That is
to fix our
true.
problems.
Yeah, belts wouldn't be needed
Government, we're
anymore.
watching you.
Our FBI agents right now, like, no, we're watching you.
Yeah, no, for real. I hope there's an episode next week from us.
Oh no.
Good cameras, good cameras.
The episode over. Sorry. Bye.
Yeah.
Sorry, spam. Bye.
Yeah.
But
Um,
yeah, like it would be so beneficial to know how to sew so that
I
I
truly
wouldn't
would.
have to like worry about all these different situations of shopping.
Yeah, no, for real. Honestly, I was literally just thinking about that because I bought some new work pants for work, and I finally found some pants that I feel like look good on me, like I feel good in, but the
Yay.
length was too long, and so
Yes.
like I had to go and buy shoes that were a little bit taller so that I could have some height and my pants wouldn't drag on the floor. But if I
Hmm.
just knew how to sew, I could have like sewed
Hemmed it.
the hem up a little higher, and then my
Hmm.
problem would have been solved. But no, I had to go spend money, buy some shoes that would work with those pants, which, I mean, they still worked out because they're comfortable shoes, but like, if I just knew
Would
how
have
to
been
sew.
beneficial. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that way all the time. Like, constantly.
Mhm.
Every outfit I put on, I'm like, I wish I could just fix this tiny little thing.
Mhm.
That's wow. I guess that should be a goal for me, honestly. Back to the New Year's thing. Maybe I should learn how to sew.
We really should. You know what? I should learn how to sew too because it would be very very beneficial to know how to do that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I could go on a tangent about how much the government profits off of us. Like let's not even get started on taxes.
Us. Here's our fitness journey part 2. Crystal, taxes.
Conspiracy theories turns into
Tax day is coming up, everyone. Do your
Mhm.
taxes. Going back to the relearning to love yourself thing.
Mhm.
I think I think that is such a big part of a fitness journey. And like, instead of, again, I know we talked about like what not to do at the beginning or what to avoid. Like, if I could go back and do it again, I would force myself to make sure that I love myself and I feel confident
Mhm.
throughout every single step of the journey.
Mhm.
So yeah, Crystal, if you could go back and do something different from the beginning, what would you do?
Ooh, um, that's actually a really hard question. That's a good question.
Thank you.
Something I would do differently would probably be like, that's a hard question. You stumped me.
I stumped you.
Yeah.
It's my turn to stump you now,
Yeah.
since you do it every
Oh,
week.
oh, how the turn have tables.
Oh, how the
Oh,
turns. I feel like the Jonas Brothers right now.
yes. No, that's actually a really hard question because you see, I've always loved myself.
Mhm,
I was never comfortable with how I looked, but I've always loved myself. I'm not confident, but the love for me is there.
mhm,
I've never hated myself, but I just didn't love my body. So maybe I guess I would have changed learning to love my body
mhm,
more, but I think the reason why I was able to stick to a weight loss journey was because I did love myself from the beginning.
mhm,
And that was something that just always followed me all the way through, but it's just like maybe if I had worked on my confidence then, maybe I would have been more confident now,
mhm.
maybe. So maybe that's what I would have changed, working on my confidence. What about you?
Yeah, mine would definitely be learning to love myself, but also the confidence because I don't know, it's like where I am right now in my journey, I wish I had confidence.
Mhm,
Like I wish I was able to wear the clothes that I thought I could wear at this point.
mhm,
I there's so many things that I wish I could do right now that I can't because I don't have the confidence to do it.
mhm,
And so confidence definitely and like learning to love myself and just take care of myself because I feel like a lot of the times when I'm like in those states of body dysmorphia, I start to like question a lot of things that
mhm,
sometimes may not even have to do with like my journey and where I am. I'm just like I go down a rabbit hole. I tend
mhm,
to go down rabbit holes and that comes with like my mental health, but I tend to go down rabbit holes and I think it would be beneficial to unlearn that skill and learn to love myself because then I wouldn't go down those rabbit holes and I wouldn't be so insecure when it comes to my body dysmorphia, if
mhm.
any of that made sense.
Perfect. Made sense. We love it. We love the vulnerability.
Yes.
Yes, I totally get you though. Like the confidence thing is just I don't know. Like I kind of feel like I'll never get there, if I'm being honest. I don't think I'll ever get to a point where I'm like fully confident
Mhm.
because there's always going to be something different about me that I'll have to like relearn to be confident
Mhm.
about. But I've just never been a confident person. Like I don't know, like what is it like to be confident? Like I just ask myself like what is it like to feel confident? Cuz I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, there was one point in time in my life where I was like, I don't know what happened, but I was
Mhm.
so confident in myself.
Really?
Yeah, and it like, again, at that point, what I looked like didn't matter, like, how I felt about myself really didn't matter much, I was out there, I was living my life,
Oh,
and this was, like,
yay.
the end of high school.
Uh-huh.
And
You felt
so,
free. It was
I
the
thi
freedom from high school, like
I think it might have been, but, like, the confidence was there, and then
Mhm.
it went away, and
Mm.
I wish I could bring that Nayla back. In fact, I'm trying, which is why my hair is parted down the side now.
Oh,
We're
you're
bringing her
channeling
back.
old
I'm
Nyla.
challenging yeah,
Channeling.
Yep. No, I stuttered. Wouldn't be an episode without a stutter.
Yeah, subscribe.
Yep. But, yeah, no, I there was okay, someone said something to me recently about,
Mhm.
like, about my weight loss. They were like, "Oh, like, you look better, you probably feel better." And I was like
Mhm.
and this is something I understood their intentions.
Mhm.
I was like, "Okay, you're a close friend of mine. I know what you're trying to say. Your wording
Mhm.
wasn't the best choice.
Mhm.
Wording was not the best choice. I don't feel better.
Mhm.
I don't. I wish I did. Like
Mhm.
I sure physically, but like mentally, emotionally, don't feel better because
Mhm.
there's so many other things that comes with it. And like in that moment, I was like, I wish I like I wish I felt better.
Mhm. Yeah, I think people think that if you're skinnier, like life is just easier. But also like again, like, this goes back to the whole thing, like, we don't know what it's like to be a man, but we also don't know what it's like to be like skinnier, you know? Like,
Mhm.
there are people who are on the lighter side, on the skinnier side, who also have problems. Like, they also don't have confidence,
Mhm.
but, we don't know what that's like because we're like on the other spectrum of it. So, yeah, it's hard. Like, why, like, people should just keep comments to themselves. Like, even if they have good intentions with it, like, just keep it to yourself. You don't gotta comment on, if you look better, you gotta feel better, and you must feel better, you know? Like, no, I don't feel better.
Yo, I brushed it off in the moment
Mhm.
because I didn't wanna deal with it. I just, like, kind of pushed it to the back of my head and, like, didn't let it bother
Mhm.
me in that moment, but then I came back and I, like, thought about it a little too much, and I was like, "Nah, that wasn't the best comment to hear." And
Mhm.
I think it's not as it's everything is not as it seems, as Selena Gomez once said.
Sponsored by Selena Gomez.
This is just a Selena Gomez episode.
Yeah.
Rare Beauty, where you at?
Yeah, no, literally.
We got
Our
2.
email's in the description.
Yeah, Selena,
But yeah.
we love you.
Yeah, so, yeah, no, like, losing weight is not gonna fix all your problems. Because I mean, I don't know about you, but, being heavier is not my only insecurity. Like, I
No,
have
yeah.
so many other insecurities
Mhm,
too that I cannot fix by losing weight, you know?
mhm,
And so I feel like a generalized comment like that, like, even though it's not meant with bad intentions, it's
mhm,
still like, it kind of like makes you think like, no, like, it hurts a little because it's like, no, I wish I was feel like, more confident, but I'm not more confident just because I
mhm.
lost weight. But
Honestly, what not to do, if someone comments something like that, don't brush it off.
yeah,
I
just
wish
let
I
them
had
know.
said something in the moment, yeah. I wish I had
Yeah.
been like, "Hey, that's not nice.
Yeah. Just like let them know, like, it's not nice.
That's not nice." Like, yeah, it's hard. It's a very hard thing to, like, in the moment be like, "Hey, no." But
Hmm.
sometimes you gotta just set it straight
Hmm.
because that can hurt. That can hurt you
Hmm.
later on.
Hmm. You know what though? Like, it is kind of hard though to know what to say. That's why, like, I'd rather just keep my comments to
Yeah,
myself
that's why I brush it
because
off.
yeah, because even like me having been through a weight loss journey, I wouldn't know how to tell you, you look better,
Mhm,
right? Like, I wouldn't know how to tell you that without it maybe coming off as like me saying you look better now, but you didn't back then, you
mhm,
know? Like, I don't know how to say that. So, like, I rather just keep my comments to myself than like say something that might affect you in a negative way, you know? And I
mhm,
think that more people should just do that. Instead of saying things, just keep the comments to yourself. Like,
mhm,
you don't know how they might affect someone else. Some people can take things a little bit more lightheartedly. Some people take it a little bit more, they might take offense to it. So
mhm.
just keep your comments to yourself because, even though you mean good intention with it, it doesn't mean that it's going to come across as having good intention.
You know, that brings up a question, like, I don't even know how to ask the question, but, like,
Hmm.
it's like positive reinforcement, but how do you like, for you
Positively reinforce it.
yeah. Like, for me, I know
Mhm.
personally, obviously, the words, like, I don't know, better, I don't like the word better, but if someone told me, like, "Oh, you look good,"
Mhm.
I think for me personally, at least, if you compare me to what I was, like, a couple years ago, if you compare me to my old self at all, that's when I get
Mhm.
very, like, hurt and
Mhm.
insecure. But if you just, like, compliment me in the moment, like, "Oh, you look really good," I
Mhm.
would probably be like, "Oh my god, like, thank you so much," because it's, like, it's more vague, I guess,
Yeah.
more generalized,
Yeah.
rather than, like, a very, like, "Oh, you look better," or, like, "You look prettier," like, things like comparing. It's
Mhm. It's a
comparisons, I feel like
comparison
that
thing.
hurts. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Right? Isn't it weird? Because like,
Probably.
sometimes, like, obviously, getting compliments always is nice, like, if someone tells me,
Mhm.
like, "Oh, like, you look amazing," or, like, "You're glowing," and, like, sure, there are other things that could be going on in the moment, and it could, like, affect me, but, like, I think that's on me to deal with, like,
Mhm.
why is that affecting me? It is
Yeah.
just a nice compliment.
Yeah.
It's the comparison is when it gets like, that's when you should keep it to yourself. You should never compare. Whether
Mhm.
you're comparing someone to how they used to look, whether you're comparing someone to someone else, don't do it. Don't compare. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That's actually a good way of putting it. It's
Mhm.
the comparison that makes you feel, I guess, a little bit more like you take more offense to it than
Yeah.
if someone was to just compliment you and be like,
Mhm.
"Oh, you look good."
Mhm.
Like how you said, "You're glowing,"
Mhm.
you're radiating or something. I don't know,
Mhm.
like comments like those do make you feel good. But once it's like it has a little bit of comparison in there, like, "Oh, you're looking better." Then that's when it's like, "So I
Better
didn't
than
look better
what?
before?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it.
And so, like, when it comes to people's compliments, I guess I would say, like, again, like, look at the intention behind it, right? If someone
Mhm.
just says, like, "You look good," there's their intention. They're not
Mhm.
saying anything outside of that. If you're taking that "you look good" and, like, turning it into something else in your head, like,
Mhm.
that's a mental thing you gotta work on.
Yeah.
Because at face value, they're literally telling you, like, "In this moment, you look good."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so complicated. Wow, this
Yeah,
is
it really is. Cause like,
blowing my mind right now.
yeah, no, I mean, like, let's say someone says something to us and, like, you take offense to it, but I don't take offense to it. Like,
Mhm.
that's the thing, it's just, like, everyone's gonna take things differently too.
Yeah.
So it's really, like it's really hard to, like, know
Mhm.
how to say things. Cause, maybe you don't take compliments well, and
Mhm.
someone says, "You look good," and it just you're thinking to yourself, like, "No, I don't look good, so why are you saying this?" You know? But then
Mhm.
someone else might be like, "Oh, you look good," and like, "Oh, thanks, yeah, I feel good," you know? So
Mhm.
it's just very different. It's like a case by case thing. Like everyone
Yeah.
feel out the mood, feel out the vibe, read the room.
Yeah. Because like I said, I think I said this in a couple episodes, I love complimenting people.
Mhm.
I love just saying nice things to people, but it's always at, like, face value.
Mhm.
Like, what I'm saying is what I mean.
Mhm.
Like, if I'm telling you you look good, like, that's all I mean. I think you
Mhm.
look good in that moment. Like, "Crystal, you look so pretty right now."
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Me? Like, are you serious? Or are you just saying this for the video?
No, I am. Like, you look pretty."
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Those
Thank you.
glasses, if you guys don't know, Crystal bought a pair of sunglasses that are so cute.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Little heart-shaped sunglasses. I'll wear them for you guys for our Valentine's Day
Yes.
video. Can we talk about feeling the need to compliment back?
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay, let's say, for example, you tell someone, "Oh, I like your outfit," and you're in, like, I don't know, your pajamas, and then they're
Mhm.
like, "I like your outfit too." But that, like, it's not like a genuine compliment, it's just like a reflex, I feel like.
Mhm.
And sometimes, like, those compliments can make me feel like so you probably don't think that. It feels very Regina George saying, "Oh my god, that's the cutest skirt I've ever seen."
Mhm. It just feels very fake. I
Mhm.
l Again, if you don't have something nice to say, like, don't
Just keep it to
say it.
yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also, like, you don't have to compliment someone back unless you mean it, in my opinion.
No. Mhm. I
Like,
agree.
oh,
I
no, I
don't
was
think
gonna
it
say you, like, told me I look pretty in the beginning of the episode. I didn't compliment you back,
and
but
I
I
didn't
do
take
now.
offense to it. Yeah, no, like, when I compliment someone, like, I don't expect them and in fact, sometimes I don't even want them to compliment me back
Yeah.
because, like, girl, if I'm in my pajamas and you're complimenting me in my pajamas, like, I know you don't mean it. Like,
Mhm.
just I'd rather you just take your compliment and feel good, and that's gonna make me feel good. You don't have to, like, try to make me feel good back by, like, forcing a compliment, you know?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's, like, a major thing. Not that it has to do with weight loss, but
Yeah. I feel like it kinda does because you just like it kinda goes with the whole thing about, like, what to avoid is, people's
Mhm.
comments,
Yeah.
like, you can't let them get to you because at the end of the day, like, you can't control what people are gonna say. People are always gonna have something to say. When you say you're gonna be on a weight loss journey, they're gonna try to, like, give you tips. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you should do this, or you should do that. I saw this video of this, like, weight loss tea. You should drink it." Like, people are always gonna have something to say,
Oh, they are,
and
yeah.
you can't control what they're gonna say. So, just, like, learn to not take things too personally, maybe, and don't let them affect you.
Yeah, and I think that also, like, not only does it apply to the whole tips and, like, what people are gonna say, but I think that applies to compliments as well, is, not to internalize anything, and
Mhm,
obviously that comes with, like, loving yourself, but again, it's the intention. I, like, for the person who said that I look better, I understood their intention.
mhm.
They weren't trying to compare me, even though it was a
Yeah.
comparison word, like, they weren't trying to, and
Mhm.
so, like, you know, it may have not been the right thing to say in that moment, but I
Oh,
also
yeah.
need to understand, like, "Hey, they're gonna say what they're gonna say, and
Oh, yeah.
that's like, I just have to take it as it is, and honestly take the good parts from it.
Yeah.
Like, that compliment made me in that moment feel insecure, but then after I was like, you know what, I do look better.
Mhm.
That is true. I
Mhm.
will take that.
As you should.
Mhm.
Yes. No, like, for real, because I mean, if I was to get if that happened to me and I was to get really upset at this person for saying this comment,
Mhm.
that would also be what's the word?
What's the word?
That would be that would be contradicting,
Yeah.
hypocritical. That would be
Hypocritical.
hypocritical of me
Mhm.
because I'm not perfect. I'm
Mhm.
sure that there are times where maybe I say something that I did not intend to say in that way, but it maybe came across that way. And so, like, you can't take, like, too much offense to what everyone says because, again, maybe you didn't understand it the way that they said it, you know?
Mhm.
And so, like, if you literally take every single thing that someone says to heart, the only thing it's gonna do is it's gonna like stop you, it's gonna mess with you. And so, like, let's say people are saying things like, "Oh, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this because you're trying to lose weight." And then all of a sudden you're thinking, you know what? I'm just gonna not lose weight because I'd rather not hear these people's comments.
I've
Like, that's
definitely
you
thought that.
stopping yourself,
Yep.
right?
Mhm. That's
Yeah, like I've been
definitely
there
coming to my
too.
head. I've been there. Yep.
Hmm.
That just, like,
So
hit home.
yeah, like, you have to learn to not take what people say to heart because
Mhm.
if you do, it's gonna stay with you.
It's just gonna hurt you.
Mhm.
Like, it genuinely Crystal saying that just brought back so many memories of, like, before I even started my journey of people being like, "You should do this, you should do that," and me being like, "Just because you said that, I'm not gonna
Mhm.
do it."
Yeah, no, literally. And, like, now I literally talk to myself whenever someone says something, I will, like, step aside and I'll just be like, "This whatever this person said is not gonna come into my space because I don't want it." Like, it's not gonna affect me, and, like, if I let it affect me, it's gonna bring my mood down,
Mhm.
and I'm just gonna, like, not wanna do it anymore. Like, the way I think of it is, like, if you know this feeling, when your mom like, let's say you're gonna go clean something, and then your mom's like, "Oh, you should clean that." Now all of a sudden, I don't wanna clean it because she told me to do it, you
I
know?
don't want to. Yep.
That's that feeling. That's
Mhm.
exactly how it is, and so it's just like, you can't let these things get to you because 'cause they're really just gonna mess with you,
Mhm. I
and it's
think that's
hard.
such a good way to close off this episode.
No, for real.
Oh,
But
man. If you have any more questions for us, like, sound off in the comments because, again, this topic
mhm,
is really never over. I know we were talking about, like, fitness journey part 2, but really this episode has to do with, like, body dysmorphia and
confidence.
confidence, yeah. I think that's the
Yeah.
main thing we wanted to talk about today. It has to do with
Yes.
our fitness journeys, but mostly just confidence.
Mhm. This is something that comes with the fitness journey, I feel like, so that's why we said in the first episode that the conversation isn't over because it's not just about, like, what you do to lose weight, like, you're working out, your eating habits. It's literally a mental thing too, and I feel like that's what we touched on today. It's, like, more of the
Mhm.
mental side of it
Yeah.
because it is really hard and it messes with you so much. Like, the mind is so powerful, and I feel like you have to become stronger than your mind and you have to take control over your mind and not let your mind take over, because if your mind takes over, then you're gonna lose.
Can you tell Crystal and I have been reading Atomic Habits?
No, for reals. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's
It's never
definitely a
over.
mental game, and
Yeah.
yep, it's
Conversation's
never
never
over.
over. Yep.
There's definitely more that we can talk about, and if you have any questions regarding that, you wanna, like, ask us and you want us maybe to even, like, talk a little bit more about something that we already talked about, we can also do that too. So just let us know if you have any comments, concerns, questions down below.
Mhm. Subscribe, like the video. Make sure that you follow us on our socials, which are linked below and also right down here. Um, and we are on Spotify, we are on Anchor, and we are on Google Podcasts. So make sure you check us out on all those platforms. And we appreciate you listening. New episode every Wednesday, 6 a.m.
And again, sorry for the spam. Bye, guys.
Did you forget that it was your turn to end it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really did.
The
I was like,
silence.
Nyla, why did she stop?
I was like, hello, Crystal. This is your turn.